always been a fan of Anne. So, and Stanley, we were laughing and kind of discussing about who we'd want to be out of this cast. And Stanley gets paid to eat. So,
Yeah,
he's got to have
right.
done something right.
Sure.
To travel and eat. That's what he does. Okay. All right.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Hi Ryan.
Hello.
So in theaters this week, The Devil Wears Prada. Duh. That's 2 if you don't speak French. Look, 20 years ago, Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci crafted a heartwarming tale of a young girl with bright ideals that wound up being chewed up by the fashion magazine industry, before finally remembering who she was and saving her soul. That might be the nicest explanation anyone has ever given The Devil Wears Prada. It's fine. My wife watches it all the time. I watch it because, it's got Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway and Stanley Tucci. So what's not to like? We get all 4 of them back for this. And a lot's changed and a lot has remained the same. So are you a fan of the original, Ryan? And what were you chomping at the bit?
Well, I mean, I think the original's fine. I don't think it ranks in my top Anne Hathaway films, but I understand the appeal. And Anna Wintour, who it's sort of based on, is kind of a interesting, divisive fashion figure.
Sure.
And there is something amusing about workplace shows and films where the boss is, what, demanding, cruel, whatever.
Bad boss.
Yeah, well, or just arrogant boss or whatever. I think it's something that audiences react to.
Yeah.
Because at one point or another, we've all worked for a boss that probably qualifies as one of those things.
Yeah.
So I think, I think there's a relatability to it. There's also an escapism sort of to the original one.
Yep.
I thought the original one was it's, yes, she's a demanding and not so great boss, but at the same time, it's entertaining.
Right.
There's a reason why people like The Office. And while this isn't exactly that sort of thing, it's it's a similar sort of.
The Office is an incompetent bad boss.
Correct. This is a boss
hyper competent.
Yes.
Bad boss.
So, but it's still, which might actually be worse because then you can't just dismiss them as being stupid or arrogant without purpose or reason or whatnot. So
right.
But I do think the original was it's not something I return to very often. I think I've probably seen it twice. But it's enjoyable. It was kind of fun. And at the time Emily Blunt was this is very early in her career.
Yep.
So that was kind of a revelatory moment where we got to see her, and always been a fan of Anne. So and Stanley, we were laughing and kind of discussing about who we'd want to be out of this cast, and Stanley gets paid to eat. So he's got to have done something right. Sure. To travel and eat. That's what he does. Okay, all right. And occasionally star in these other films. But so I mean, I don't know that I'm a huge fan of the original, but I was certainly I was looking forward to something that was somewhat more of an escapism film, which is absolutely not what we got.
No, I wrote my review. I dropped it this morning at the embargo, and it honestly, it started out, and I was shocked because it started with an indictment of new media, new journalism, and cancel culture. Because Anne Hathaway's Andy Sachs wins a journalism award while being fired over text.
Yeah.
And Miranda Priestly, Meryl Streep, is being pilloried for an article that she approved and glowingly recommended a company in Runaway that turned out to be a sweatshop.
Yeah.
Based. And so people were just going after her. And I thought, wow, this is a change up. These are like two, cancel culture is a little out of date at this point, but new journalism versus old journalism, that is totally still going on.
Sure.
So it's like, but then it kind of finds a way to put these characters back together. And we kind of get more of the same as last time.
Sort of. I would say that there's a I don't think I think this film was pretty dour for me. And talking to other people who currently or have had jobs as journalists where that was our income.
Right.
There's a lot of the critics in our film group that being a journalist is not the major or the first way they're making money.
Right.
So there's a handful of us who like I said either are or have
existed in that sphere.
Existed in that sphere very much. So it was a very dark film for a couple of us kind of talked afterwards, in the sense that that is the true state of journalism, is that you can be phenomenal at what you do, but if you're not profitable, someone's going to sell you off.
You don't
or let you go, or you're going to, so yeah, there's and that goes throughout the film. And there are things that happen in the film that are very, well, I don't know if idealistic is, but there's at least one twist that's fairly idealistic, that we all felt was kind of I don't know how to put it exactly. A bad idea, maybe.
Was that and Save the Day?
A little bit.
Was that twist?
Well, it's like, I guess here's the question. Do you go, if you're someone who's rich,
sure,
and you have a lot of money,
mm-hmm.
Are you getting into journalism because you want to make more money, or because journalism matters? And I think that is a question that looms over the film a little bit, but maybe not enough.
Right.
The question maybe should be, if you want the truth and you want something unbiased, are you actually willing to pay for it?
Right.
And the current model would suggest that no, people are not.
Right. Because I mean, Runaway magazine is being hit with it's not about the print, it's about the online stuff. It's the Instagram, it's the TikTok, it's the click, it's the engagement.
Yeah,
those are the numbers that are driving budgets and employment and all of that.
And I think the problem too is people need to realize they really still haven't figured out how to make money online.
Right.
As far as fashion and news and a lot of those things, they still haven't cracked the code.
No.
With television or magazines, you could tell where the money was coming and going. Advertisers, but in a way, things have gotten so trackable that it's kind of hard to understand how things worked in the past.
Right.
In the sense that, advertisers would give money to magazines, and they would assume that it was doing something. If sales went up, they assumed it was the magazines. Sales went down, they assumed it was the magazines.
Right.
Now you can quantify and track everything.
Yep.
Except for, can you really, is the question, because a lot of it is based on, did they click the ad and then buy something at that very moment?
Right. Or did they click the ad and then buy it another way later?
Yes.
Yes.
So the numbers,
digital window shopping.
Yes. The numbers.
And again, that's why we're the click based internet economy.
It's not as foolproof and as proven as even that, you really can't track it in the way that they say currently you can, because it does eliminate the whole I'll buy it later aspect, or okay,
Right.
that's interesting. Now I know how much it is. I wonder if I can find it somewhere cheaper later on, or
Right.
whatnot. Or I think I'd rather buy that in person, so I'll go to an actual store to buy that. Which that's probably the rare of
Yeah.
all the decisions. But anyway, I mean, I don't want to get too intellectual on this thing. But this film is essentially about a legacy magazine that is put in the position of what adapting or dying.
Right. And it's encapsulated or embodied by Miranda Priestly,
Yes.
who I think the funniest moments in this film are watching her being forced to not be her in the staff
Yeah.
meetings, with her coat. Those are the funniest things ever in this movie. Because you can see the struggle, and it's almost everyone kind of wants to excuse her, but nobody can.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's how my grandfather has always been. He's always been a racist alcoholic or whatever. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
there's some things you chalk up to people. It's very difficult for people to change, and she struggles the entire time in this trying to do that. Those were the parts where I was just laughing on the inside the entire time, because it's like, yeah, if you're on the forefront of culture will keep you there,
Yeah.
or it will kick you out.
And,
So
and
it's just funny.
I kind of felt like it was sad. Not
In a
because
lot of ways, it was.
I mean, and again, I really want. I probably wanted the sequel that they would have made 15 years ago.
Right.
Which would have probably been rather or radically different in that
Oh yeah.
she could have still been who she was and still sort of gotten away with it.
Right.
So for me, I had a real hard time enjoying any of this film because of my background, and I'm fully aware that a lot of it has to do with my background.
Fair.
I mean, no, I mean it's like
No, that's legit. As audience members, much less critics, we take our baggage in. And as
yeah,
critics, as much as we try to evaluate the thing for what it is, if you're watching it, you have stuff that you're bringing to it.
yeah, and
if you
I
read a book, you have stuff that you're bringing to it. So it's completely understandable.
yeah, and because there is, I mean, I kind of jokingly commented it was like I attended a funeral, and it sort of is a funeral for journalism as it once was. And that's not to say journalism won't matter in the future or whatnot, but it's had a good couple decades to figure its way out of as far as the internet and what goes, and it hasn't yet.
Well, and then in this, I mean, Miranda she's even struggling with the fashion. Every time she's looking at stuff, the look on her face in the original, something's going to come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And she can't, because the fashion, I mean, even the fashion is wrong in this movie, and it's killing her the entire time. But yeah, it is kind of a funeral for but it almost kind of feels like a funeral for fashion too.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah. There's that speech that an individual gives about AI and fashion, and that
yes.
speech, and you go, oh, that's everything that's absolutely wrong. At least that was my response. Is that's everything that is absolutely wrong with AI, and I'm not anti-AI.
No, that's what's wrong with everything that's wrong with people that are AI acolytes.
Yeah, or it was like that is the complete opposite of what Runaway is to begin with.
Right.
fashion in itself, that's a debatable thing. Like I can't tell you that I fully understand fashion. And I think a lot of people who, unless you're deeply immersed in fashion, couldn't tell you anything about fashion either. But
No,
we do have a fascination with it. And a lot of times fashion isn't necessarily what you would actually wear.
no,
So I mean, fashion in itself is kind of this hard thing to define. But the model that this person puts forward is completely wrong. And I know that much about fashion to
right.
know that whatever fashion is, that is not
That
it.
is not it.
That is absolutely the antithesis of fashion.
Yeah,
So the film does make interesting points. And I suppose it just,
it's very scattered.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but in this one we get a villain.
Yes, we do. And I don't know. But there's multiple villains, maybe.
Well, no, there's one. I mean, one guy, he's not even a villain.
Well,
He's
he's
just
obvious.
there.
He's the actual villain might be the someone more involved who and it's the villain of it's a greed sort of thing and
Right.
revenge and whatnot.
Well,
But
because there's the villain based on greed.
yes,
Then there's the villain based on revenge.
yes,
And so there's a couple of villains, but the one is going to surprise people. And honestly, at the end, there was that final little twist.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, it would have been incredible if the entire time X would have been like this like evil villain who somehow the plan didn't quite go the way they wanted,
yeah,
but they still came out okay, so they're gonna run with it. You know what I mean? It's like there's a moment
yeah.
where you're like, oh, is this like a Shyamalan twist?
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
that would have been incredible.
Yeah, it did. I mean, to me, the ending felt it was set up. I don't want to say the ending that we get wasn't at all set up. It
No, it
was,
was.
but it still leaves me with questions. Or it's not as quite. I don't think for me it wasn't as quite as much of a resolution as it thought it was. Or that it isn't the fix that the movie says it is or
Right.
wants you to believe that is. I think maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I think hey, look, everything's great, but it's like, but is it?
But is
Because
it
we're still
still
kind
in
of
this world?
we're still where we were at the beginning, really.
Yeah.
If anything, we've just prolonged something, I
Right.
guess.
I don't know.
And maybe that helps. Maybe that does give us enough time to figure something out. But for me, it wasn't the movie I was looking for.
Right. Well, I
Um,
don't know what I was looking for, but here's what I can guess.
no,
The people that are looking forward to this are going to like it. We came up, my wife liked it, and I was like, okay, that's half the
okay,
battle. If she had hated it, then I'd have known they'd have really dropped the ball.
sure,
So, but she didn't. So I think generally speaking, it's going to make woman audience money, however much that comes to. But it's opening against, what is it opening against? Is it opening against anything this week?
the Jaws plane wreck film, whatever that is,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but Deepwater or whatever.
whatever it is,
But yeah,
the
that's
Aaron
not
Eckhart.
that honestly, that's not going to make a lot of money. I don't think. But you got week 2 of Michael, which had a big opening weekend.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It might win it might win this week.
it could.
It might have been front loaded. I don't know. It's going to be 1 or 2,
You would think.
but I don't know what that number is going to come to.
And
So
I do have to say that we did just see Anne Hathaway in a different film, and it was a film that I loved with Mother Mary. So
vastly different film.
vastly different, and
Go
and
listen
but
to that review, people. Vastly different.
it's intriguing though that we literally get these films 1 week apart.
Well, Jesse Buckley did that. It felt like we were getting like a Jesse Buckley movie every 2 weeks. So Hollywood scheduling.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, I don't mind. You could probably give me a Jesse Buckley film every 2 weeks or an Anne Hathaway film every two. Although Jesse has maybe slightly more. She has taste that's a little more refined, and has appeared in things that I have absolutely no interest in, despite the fact that I still think she's a great actress.
Yeah,
and to be perfectly clear, that's fine. If she wants to do movies like Bride Wars or whatever, she can go and do Bride Wars if that allows her to do something that's more experimental or whatever.
Yep.
It's great actually for her in a certain way, in that she can do films that are incredibly commercial.
Yep.
And then also do films that
what was it?
Probably,
was it Monster? What was that one called?
Well, there was which one?
The one with the monster in Japan or
Seoul? What was? And it's I just watched it not too long ago. What can't I think of? Yes, exactly. That movie was phenomenal. Where she's
but not for everyone.
No. It was a Sundance film. It was seriously a Sundance film, but it's amusing and it's great. And that one was strange in that it was weird, but it also had very normal girl comes back, has to deal with the past sort of elements to it, then just happens to also, when she goes wandering through a playground, turns into a giant creature smashing its way through cities. I love that she can do that stuff, and I do love some of her commercial stuff, but I do tend to really, really connect more with her art housey stuff.
Colossal.
Anyway. Yeah, Colossal. There you go. That's what it was.
Yep.
But so it is interesting to have these back to back, and they are radically different. The performances are radically different. I think the performance in Devil Wears Prada 2 is what people think when they think of Anne Hathaway.
But her performance in Mother Mary is great.
Is
I didn't love it as much as you did, but her performance is great.
I love that film.
Her performance is great.
I really just again, if you haven't listened, go listen. But essentially, that's a film that checks off all my boxes, and I know that's
all my boxes.
Incredibly specific, and so there are going to be certain people who, with different wants and desires from a movie, that are going
people
to
with different boxes.
Different boxes are going to probably feel like they didn't check any, but that's okay.
But look, in terms of the Devil Wears Prada 2 and recommending it. Sure, you can go see it. It's not terrible. It's not bad.
No, it's not.
It is exactly the way you expect it to be, even if the story isn't necessarily what you might assume they would write. But other than that, it's these same 4 actors in these same 4 characters chewing the same scenery. And in many ways, they have not changed at all, but in many ways, they have changed.
Or the world has, at least, too.
So you can go see it. It's a date night movie, guys. If your significant other wants to go see the Devil Wears Prada 2, fine, you'll survive. It's
you'll
2
be
hours.
You'll be fine.
It's not some Nolan length epic.
No. If you're a journalist, you might feel triggered.
Yeah, there you go. If you're a journalist, you might feel triggered. Directed by David Frankel, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci. Devil Wears Prada 2 in theaters this Friday, May 1st. Check it out. Don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website vsmoviepodcast.com and you'll get links to most of what we do. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe. That would be lovely. And until we talk to you again, be good, stay safe, and go see a good movie in theaters. There are plenty out there. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
Hey, folks.
And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.